Hello. I have decided upon something. What have I decided, you ask? Well, I have decided that I would like to do a vlog series where I just upload a short, low to medium quality video every day for all of 2021, starting now in December of 2020. You see how that works? You see how I'm the smartest? Exactly. So, yeah. That's all it takes. So, I'm gonna make some lunch. I don't actually have a real plan for this series kind of thing that I'm doing here. Just kinda gonna let it roll. Roll with it. However it's gonna go, it's gonna go. So I figure I'll set my camera up, let's make some lunch. Alright, welcome back from that little jump cut. You're on top of my microwave. Welcome to Cheap Man's Guide to Ramen Noodles. Pick out your favorite pot and lid. Put that bad boy on a burner. I have the oven light on, or the fan light on, but you don't need it. Take that boy to the sink. Rinse. Dump. Now we can begin filling it. I ain't gonna give you anything like you should cook it for this, or you should add this much water, cook it for this long. None of that. Cook with your heart. If you feel like that's enough water, that's enough water. Turn that boy on. I cook on a medium. About that much. It's going to depend on flame to flame how you feel about it. I don't have a sense of smell, so the things I cook may be a little too strong for some, or a little strange to some. And that is simply due to the fact that I need strong flavors in order to actually taste anything. And this is the way that I have learned. This is going to be a pork broth, and I'm going to make the pork broth myself. Kind of. I don't know. Maybe it'll be more like a soup. I don't know. I've never done it like this before. Usually I just toss in whatever meat I have lying around on top of like the flavor packet they have that it just comes with. So I've never actually tried it like this before. We're just going to take all this chopped up meat that we just cut up and just sort of take it over to the pot with our noodles in it, and then I'm going to get a cutting board. This one works. We're going to look for what vegetables we might have that might taste good. We have some celery. Pick out whichever stalk you like from your celery. This one looks good to me. Rinse it, of course. Important stuff there. Most vegetables will work, and since we have celery, I'll tell you what, little trick here. Take some of the leaves off the celery. Rinse them, yeah. Make sure they're dry, because you don't want wetness. Get a new knife, not the one you were cutting. Well, you can use the one you were cutting meat with if you're not cutting raw meat and you're cutting just like leftover ham that had already been cooked, that's been in the fridge, then you can use the same knife. I'm not going to. This is a different knife. Two different knives. They're just similar. I'm not going to, but you can use the same knife as long as the meat you were cutting wasn't raw meat. or like diseased meat, which why are you cooking with diseased meat? Don't do that. Now I'm gonna, you know, slice up some of these celery leaves. And then I'm gonna put them in the pot. Now you can take your lettuce, this is celery, and then you can just however much you think you want in one bowl. Put it in the pot. Stir it in. We got some nori. Lots of leftover nori, just like seaweed. Like this stuff. Real good. Works good. You can just take a pair of scissors out the scissor drawer. If you don't have a scissor drawer, you can compensate with whatever works. Personally, I'm going to wash these scissors first. Because the scissor drawer is kind of nasty. It's also full of tools and other such things. So, you know, clean your tools. Clean your kitchenware. And I'm just gonna... Actually, you know what? I can even... I'll get the cutting board back so that I can see what I'm doing here. You can just sort of do whatever you want with it. Get creative. This is another kind of freestyle spot where you can just sort of, however much you feel like eating, however much you feel like putting in. There's no tradition, no science, no style. It's just you're hungry and you have crap lying around in your kitchen that you don't feel like letting go to waste, but you don't really feel like eating it on its own as like a snack. So you can do it like this. So in case you couldn't tell already, my system that I use for cooking ramen, or most meals in general, is just whatever you have lying around that you think would taste good, you can kind of just toss in there. Like, I have a system for ramen which is like if I have some kind of leftover meat, like ham, or like a steak, or like whatever, you know, sausages, cut them up, put them in the pot while you're making the noodles. And whatever vegetables you might have lying around, cut them up, put them in the pot. Hello, the previous recording auto ended. I'm going to show you, I don't know how far I got, I'll check. The last thing I remember recording was that we were going to go get an egg to hard boil it. So that's what I'm doing now, is I'm hard boiling an egg. Then you just fill the pot with water, a classic maneuver. When it comes to this process, you want to fill it up kind of high just because you want to make sure the egg can be fully submerged. Put that on the, lower the heat considerably because your ramen is starting to hyperboil. Get a lid that fits your pot. Rinse that bitch. Pop it on there. Wait for that to boil. So when that water boils, there, you can take the egg out of your pocket. Pop it down right there. Leave it. I have taken the pot off, or the lid off, and brought that down to just a simmer, because these will be done very shortly. You can see the broth starting to form, thanks to all the juices arising. Okay, got some sesame oil. This stuff, a couple drops of this after it's done, very nice. And just one drop of this one, because this one looks to be a little bit nicer. tiniest pour. That was maybe more than a drop, but we have a whole pot here. And then just stir that in. Whew, something's burning my eyes. When you boil ham, does it like create a certain stank to it? I don't remember. It's been quite a long time since I did any cooking. Beyond like cooking a string cheese in a skillet and calling it a meal. Okay. That right there, you can turn up the heat on that because we kind of want to rapid boil this egg. I'm going to set this bad boy back up. The only thing really left to do at this point is just wait for everything to cook. Not up there. Not up there. Where? Oh, where? Ah, there. I have a special bowl for ramen noodles. It was given to me as a Christmas gift like 2 years ago. It was gifted to me alongside several sets, like a bag full of chopsticks. Because I was getting really into Japanese culture at the time, so I was like, yo, ramen noodles, I'm gonna try making them. The way I made them back then was a lot nicer than how I make them now. How I make them now is almost an insult, because it's more like making a soup. The spirit of traditional ramen is no longer there in the way that I cook, but it's that, I mean, it's good. It tastes good enough. We got some of this like elk jerky from my uncle. I think I kind of want to try a piece. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Butter knife. That's what's next on the list. Noodles are done. You can take them off the heat now. Check the lid. Oh yeah, those are done. Might even be overcooked. But soft noodles are no problem. That should be a good broth. I've never tried making the broth without the chicken flavoring. I almost always add it. I almost always add the whole packet. Because I'm no taste buds. My palate is, I eat like a raccoon. I can pop that egg in there. I'll keep these tongs here for now because I'm going to need them later when I want to get that egg out.
I'm coming back through.
Okay. As you would expect, the noodles, they turned out pretty good. I don't know, I haven't tasted them yet, but I'm going to take the sesame oil. That's what this is. Yes, sesame oil. Oops, that's a lot. Hopefully that doesn't overpower the noodles. Should have been focusing on me pouring it instead of filming it. The egg will be done soon. I don't know. Might take it out now and just have the inside be runny, very runny. But I think we can just eat it for now, really. I mean, there's no reason not to. Hello. This is the final rendition, the final addition to this video. It's the part where I eat. It's the part where I eat. The hard-boiled egg turned out pretty good. Maybe even a little overdone. Pretty good though. That turned out pretty good. Tastes good. I would actually consider letting that soak in the broth for a little bit. One of these chopsticks is a little bit stained from something strong. Soy sauce, maybe. Dang, this is actually pretty good. This is hearty. It's not quite like the intensity that I would normally cook, but it's very like... It's good. Damn. Normally I'd like it to be a bit stronger, like saltiness almost, like I might lightly salt this. It's not quite a salt flavor that I'm looking for, it's more like that chicken flavoring flavor. Just the salt, the like sort of saltiness that that typical ramen chicken flavoring brings. The Maruchan ramen chicken flavoring is actually quite a bit like less strong compared to the like stuff you can usually buy, but it adds that nice kick to it. I just thought maybe for most people the chicken and the pork would clash a little bit, maybe. But again, this was just an experiment. If I get good feedback on this video, then I'll do this again. Oh, this actually turned out really good. It's hot, of course, but like it's turned out great. It's really hot. I didn't let it cool like at all. This turned out pretty good. Not gonna lie. It was almost like I thought it was bland, like it didn't have that kick I usually put into it, but it was like, oh, it's so savory. The umami in this, it just went all out. Like, oh man. I'd love to go to Japan someday and actually try like authentic ramen just to see how it differs. I'm sure it differs significantly from how I've been eating it, but I'd love to go and try it. That was great. That was really good. Oh, the camera battery's gonna die. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I'll come back down here to clean this up in a little bit. That got me tired. Alright.